What's up YouTube, HPJ here, and I'm coming at you guys with another Harpie Lady deck profile. And this one is right after the TCG ban list. Yeah, you can already tell I'm not too excited about it, and I'm not happy about it either. But I must digress, I must push on. So with this variation, actually was planned before the ban list, and I wanted to do a variation that included just the Winged Beast. Like, I have variations of this deck that I wanted to showcase. Probably showcase a lot better than I did with Raggio Pro, because that thing was always buggy. So I'm not too much of a change of tactics and stuff, but just being careful of what I play and all of that. So with that said and done, let's get into the deck profile, shall we? Alright, so for my monster lineup, it's pretty much an array. We have 3 copies of Harpie Channeler, followed by 3 copies of Harpie Harpus, and then I'm running 2 Harpie Lady 1 and 1 Cyber Harpie Lady. For the next lineup of monsters, I'm running 2 copies of Harpie Perfumer, 2 copies of Harpie Oracle, 1 Dancer, 1 Queen, and 1 1 Harpie Lady Sister. I almost called them Cyber Harpie Lady Sisters. But yeah, so that is pretty much it for the monsters. And then we'll move on to the spells. I'm running 3 copies of Hysteric Sign, followed by 2 copies of Harpie's Hunting Ground, 2 copies of Harpie's Feather Roosting, 2 copies of Allure Mirror Split, 1 Elegant Egotus, 1 Raigeki, 1 Dark Hole, and 1 Monster Reborn. So that rounds out all my cells. And then for my trap cards, I'm running 3 copies of Harpie's Feather Storm, 2 copies of Harpie Lady Elegance, 2 copies of Hysteric Party, 2 copies of Powerful Rebirth, and 1 each of Solemn Strike and Solemn Warning. So that is pretty much it for the main deck. For the extra, I'm running 3 copies of Great Fly, 1 copy of Decode Talker, and 1 copy of Fighter Fighting Rumadal. That's followed by 2 copies of Lightning Chidori, 1 copy of Tornado Dragon, and 1 copy of Castel, 1 copy of Harpie's Pet Phantasmal Dragon, 2 copies of Ice Beast Zero Fine, 2 copies of Cowboy, and 1 copy of Babushka the Terribly Tired Tea Eater. So that rounds out pretty much the main and the extra deck, so let me go over choices. So before anyone starts screaming, where's my 3rd perfumer? Well, I haven't ordered it yet, so that's why I don't have a 3rd perfumer. When I ordered my stuff, perfumer was very low in stock in products, so I have to wait till next time. I'll probably have to wait till the 1st or around the 1st and then get my perfumer. So I'm not too much in a rush. But 3 Harpie Chandler is pretty much your big optimal play for this deck. You want to summon her to the field, special summon Harpies from the deck, and pretty much get your plays going from there. If you're playing Dragon Variations, she'll become level 7 when you control Dragon type monsters, so you can go into your rank 7 plays. Even though Tomahawk isn't here, I'll have an updated version on that as well to fit in some for a replacement, and hopefully we'll have a lot better outcome then. We're running I'm running still 3 copies of Harpie Harpus. You either discard her for the effects of Chandler, you can discard her for Hysteric Party. You just want to send her to the grave, and once she's in the grave, you can search for your level 4 or lower 15 attack wing 15 attack or less. You search for your deck a level 4 monster with 15 or less attack that's Winged Beast and add it to your hand. So with all the Winged Beast options you have in Harpies, you have a ton of support there. Her bounce effect will be more prevalent once we get Harpie Conductor. Bouncing an opponent's monster, bouncing your monster, and then Perfumer can activate her. Not Perfumer. Conductor can trigger her effect and get rid of stuff, and it's just a nice big removal there. It just does suck that it targets, and it has a lot of, unfortunate backdraws to it, but it's still a great way to clear the board, especially with those cards that can't be targeted. They can be targeted without any backdraws to them. 2 copies of Harpie Lady 1 and 1 Cyber Harpie. This is primarily because Cyber Harpie Lady, let me move everything over. Cyber Harpie Lady is going to be our beat stick in replacement to Queen. She's also an easy target to summon off Elegant Egotist. She's always Harpie Lady, so you still have those options. With Harpie Lady 1, you get the additional attack power. Queen Harpies can search for her, as well as the next 2 monsters, well, next 1, 2, 3 cards that I'll be showing off as well through her effect. And of course, the additional 300 attack to everyone doesn't hurt at all either, especially when you combine it with Great Fly. So, Harpie Perfumer, specifically, search your deck for a spell track that specifically lists Harpie Lady Sisters in its text. A lot of people I've been seeing are now trying Triangle Ecstasy Spark, which is a great idea because it helps. I mean, it's a really good card. It's just the biggest backdrop to it is the whole situation with the facts of what is it? It's not the Harpie Sister effect, because you got to be pretty stupid to not understand that it needs Harpie Lady Sisters to activate it. You don't have to control the sisters. Your opponent can control the sisters, Harpie Lady Sisters. It's just the whole fact of the attack points. Do you stack on more or not? And Konami is just not really helpful in that end either. But Perfumer has all the other targets. You can go get Hunting Ground. You can go get Egotist. You can go and search for Split Mirror. You can search for Alluring Mirror. You can search for Harpie Elegance. So you have your other options still, even if you don't really, because it helps when you don't have to run so many queens. You still have your option with Perfumer, and then you have a little Oracle over here that helps in reverse. She'll get the cards from the graveyard. She does have to wait for the end phase, unlike Perfumer, who can do it right there on her normal special summon, which does suck for Oracle. But Oracle overall, I think, is going to be one of a lot of people's favorites because of her recovery. Once you get the recovery going and you can set up for your next couple of plays, Oracle becomes a really good monster. She's a really easy special summon if you control level 5 or higher Harpie. And don't worry, I did make up some recovery, make up for that in this variation. Only 1 Dancer, because of the fact that Dancer, the whole pop thing with Hunting Ground isn't so much prevalent as it used to be. You can pop your own spells and traps, yes, but your opponent doesn't have much back row. You kind of don't want to see this so much. And besides, we have Oracle and Perfumer now, so we have a lot more options in recovery and advantage. So it's just, unfortunately, Dancer just kind of sucked through. Maybe Divine Wind variations of Harpies will run Perfumer. We'll run Dancer in Secession, but that's only when time can tell. And especially when Conductor comes out, too. Harpie Queen at a 1 of, like I said, we have Oracle, we have Perfumer. We really don't need multiple Queens. Queen still is a good 19 beat stick. She still has a lot of abilities to do, set up the grave for Party, set up the grave for Alluring Mirror, set up the graveyard for Harpie Elegance. But I think just sort of the fact that we have new monsters that does what she does just a lot faster helps out tremendously. But she still is needed because she is a quicker search for Hunting Ground than most other cards would be. Then we have Harpie Lady Sisters. So one of my favorite Harpie Lady cards is Harpie Sisters. Well, in terms of monsters, because Chandler is next to her, and then Cyber Harpie, and then Perfumer. If anyone wants to ask that. The whole thing about Harpie Lady Sisters is they have to be first special summoned with Elegant Egotist, which is not hard. And with all the new cards in this game that help circulate with Harpie Lady Sisters, it's time to crack out the Harpie Sisters and get to work. And they really do deserve a lot of the plays and stuff they get now. So, that's the monster setup. For the spells and traps, for the most part, it's just pretty standard situations with things. First off, I'm running 3 Sign because that's the best setup card for Harpies. Get Egotist on its activation. You can blow it up or send it to the graveyard by hand or field and get your 3 Harpie cards and get more rotation to set. I think honestly for Harpies, searching is just one of their biggest assets. So the real things that you do have to deal with is just Thunder Kings and stuff like that would stop you from searching in Ash Blossom. But that's why we have Feathersword. Harpie's Hunting Ground at 2, like I said, Oracle, Perfumer, and Queen. That's really your search there with Queen and Perfumer, and then Oracle can retrieve in the graveyard when you have to pop it through its own effect. 200 additional attack, of course, to all your winged beast. Harpie's Feather Rest. A lot of people don't like this card, but I love this card, and I love it because of the fact that it is our draw card. It really doesn't hurt us if you know how to play around this card's effects. Like, you can do all your summons before you activate it. You can retrieve your Harpie cards, and then you can go from there. It doesn't really hurt party if you early game it, or you really just try to set up for it, because your deck can still set up for Hysteric Party. It just takes a lot more time, but this is our draw card. This is our pot of avarice. We said we need a draw card, and we finally got it. People just complain about it because they have things to complain about. The whole wind summoning thing isn't an issue because you have Chidori, you have Phantasmal, you have Great Fly, you have Tornado Dragon, you have Castel. You can just wait to activate the card and then activate after you summon the big monsters and stuff. So it shouldn't, yeah, I don't get that either. Alluring Mirror Split. You can pop this card and get a Harpie from the graveyard. You can activate this card when your Harpie is destroyed by battle. When your Harpie lady or sister is destroyed by battle, you can just get another Harpie monster from your deck that has a different original name than what was destroyed. That's not a problem there either, because, I mean, if you're going to run the Harpie's Pet Dragons, then this is a good card for them as well. You can basically spam your Harpie cards. You can get sisters back from the graveyard, and then just, you know, a lot of plays off of this card. It's still a really good card. I just wouldn't run 3 of it because I think 2 is enough, just because you can search for it and retrieve it with Oracle and Perfumer. And then on top of that, you kind of don't want to clog yourself up, especially if you don't have the graveyard. But I still like the 1 of, I mean the 2 ofs. If this was variations, it'd probably just be one Feather Roost and 1 Alluring, just because I can fit in other cards and then still benefit from Oracle and Perfumer. Next up are just the 1-ofs, the Egotist, because you have multiple cards in this deck to search for it. Raigeki, Dark Hole, monster removal, and you have Reborn to help you with your push plays as well. In terms of the extra deck, in terms of trap cards, I think it's pretty just much obvious that 3 Feather Storm helps you with hand traps. The 2 Harpie Lady Elegance, I don't mind popping this card, because I think a lot of people are running it for that additional effect. If you are running sisters, I would also advise trying to fit in cards like Harpie's Pet Baby Dragon, because you can get the other 2 Harpie monsters. It'll trigger its second and first effect, and then really all you have to do is normal access with another Harpie, and then you'll get the 3rd effect ready to go. And primarily most people will want Dancer, because then it can pop stuff. But when you search for this card's effect, you can search for any Harpie monster and add it to your hand, and I do adore that as well. Then we have 2 Harpies Hysteric Party. The thing about Hysteric Party is I probably would drop one of these to make this a 3rd party, because the thing with Harpie Lady Sisters is that I kind of still want them circulating. With Harpie Elegance, you just want it to be a pop card, and that's primarily why I think I would probably drop it back to 2 ofs, just for that sense. And now we're going to talk about Powerful Rebirth. So Powerful Rebirth is a trap card that works like Call to Haunted, but has a benefit to it. If it's popped, it doesn't destroy the monster, and if the monster is removed, it destroys itself. Now, with this card, I've talked about this. Harpie King has talked about this card, and what you really do with this is you combine this with Harpie Perfumer. Since Perfumer's Perfumer's additional effect revolves around a level 5 or higher Harpie being on the field, if you summon her off of Rebirth, she'll become level 5, and then you can search for those 2 cards. You also have access in plays with, of course, Harpie's Feather Rest, because if you have a level 5 or higher Harpie on the field, you can draw 2 instead of 1. So you combo it really well off of Perfumer being used with Rebirth. And, you know, you'll have your 2 searches off of Perfumer, you'll have your 2 draws off of Rebirth, thanks to Perfumer being a level 5. And it would just help tremendously. You can use it with any of the other Harpie ladies in that same combination as well to get them to level 5 and benefit from that. That's a great combination, a great idea of something to use in case you guys are looking for that option. Next to it is just, you know, the 1 Raigeki and 1 Strike, just because I want to have that combination of counter traps. You can put Red Reboot in here and get some real good use out of that as well. To do a better situation dealing with other counter traps. As far as the extra deck itself goes, the 3 Great Fly are literally just here because recovery, attack bonus, and we don't have conductor. Same thing with the Rumadal. Because we don't have conductor, we at least have some recovery off of the Rumadal, getting our Harpies back from the graveyard or the banished area, him gaining 100 attack for each beast warrior, and or winged beast. His material is the beast warrior, and or winged beast in combination of 2s. So you have a lot to go for him. And Decode Talker, honestly, because of how speedy this deck goes, Decode Talkers, Barrel Sword Dragons and stuff like that are great use. The only thing is I don't own Barrel Swords, and they're really expensive, so that's why I just chose to go for Decode Talker. I bumped up Chidori and I bumped up Ice Beast because we will now have to deal with multiple copies of Exciton Knights. I will have to deal with that as well pretty soon. I wanted to make sure that even if I'm not running the rank 4 engine, I have an engine to rely on. And because of how powerful effects Ice Beast and Chidori have, seeing them bumped up to 2 is necessary, especially if you're going to run a rank 4 version of this deck. Double Cowboy to replace the Red Eyes Flare Metal Dragon in its variation, so I can get him out the way as well, because that's literally the only one set of Exceed monsters that I'm running in doubles. Other than that, I have I'm rocking Phantasmal, I'm rocking Tornado, I'm rocking Castel, and I'm rocking Babushka. You can double up Castel if you want to, if that's a better preference for you, but I'd rather see the one Castel, the double Ice Beast, the double Chidori. I mean, I can take out Babushka and just put in another Castel if I wanted to, because or the Tornado Dragon, just because and have that set up. But that's pretty much it for the deck profile, everyone. I hope you guys enjoy. I'll try to get another variation of it up with the changes, including dragons, so that way people can have that option. If you like what you see, of course, leave a like, and let me know what you guys think about the deck list. Ain't too much more to say about that. I will see you guys next time. HJ signing out. Take care.